Good morning, everybody. I went to sleep last night. I got everything set up for the motor. I was about to pull it last night myself, but I decided just to go to sleep. Wait till the sun comes out. Just be refreshed, I don't want to knock over my motor. But we're definitely going to have that motor off today. It's going to be easy. I already have it set up, figured out. All we got to do is get ready, get up, and then we'll do it. I'll show you guys what I'm about to do. I literally just woke up. I used the bathroom. I haven't done anything else. No coffee, nothing. I put on my hat. That's all I've done is use the bathroom, put on my hat, and I forgot to close my garage last night. Oops. That was stupid of me. Only a few hours though. So, it's ready to go. Literally, all I'm doing is putting this motor on this cart right here. You see, it's ready to go. She's ready. I'm gonna take this piece right here and this one. I'm gonna put it underneath right here and right here, kind of like a ramp. And then we're gonna slide. I'm gonna pull the motor back. You guys will watch me. I'm gonna slide the motor back onto this, and then we'll cart it around. I'll probably pull it back, move this side stuff to the side, get the diff out, move the frame to the side, and then push the motor right up there in the front of my garage. Get everything listed, and then start working on that today. It's got to get done, man. I don't have a choice. I got to eat. I got to pay bills, I got to get this truck running too. So that's the most important thing, is getting this truck running right here. I got to get out of here and get down to Florida soon, ASAP. And I want to look at this boat before I go. I want to look at this boat before I go to Florida. I might be towing a boat back. Which, if I turn this rear-wheel drive, I'm going to have problems up in the mountains pulling that 27-foot boat because it's got that keel. I'm better off sailing it down. I'm telling you, I'm better off sailing the 27-foot boat down to Florida. I'd rather sail it than put it behind this truck. Because a 27-foot boat with that keel is ridiculous. That keel is what's going to be the problem. Because the boat, people don't understand, you got that boat, right? That keel sticks good 5-10 feet down underneath the boat. It's like a little shark fin. And then I spent all night. That guy was messaging me all night last night till 2 in the morning, man. People don't tend to forget, I'm dealing with a bunch of car guys. I'm dealing with people that, they're building stuff, they're out in their garage at 2 in the morning with all their buddies or their dad, you know what I mean? Or, and they don't even realize they need the stuff until the last minute, and then they were like, oh shit, we need to do this, a lot of times that's how it goes. We need these parts. And it sucks because this guy, I want a car guy to come get this shit, man. When it's a car guy, they know what they want. They know what they need, They know they don't give you problems, They're happy to get the deal and all that shit. The guy that's fucking wanting this part right now isn't a car person. Their truck is broken down, and they simply need a new 4-wheel drive system, and their 4-wheel drive system is shot, and they want to replace it. And I'm trying to tell them that, Chevy, the shit will work, all right? Your truck is the same thing. And here we go. I'm dealing with hours going back and forth, trying to tell all these people what it is they have. And, it's because I know so much. Hey, Claw, you hungry? Claw. I'm surprised my cat didn't wake up meowing. Come on, girl. Come on, Antora. Hey. She's too busy. Too busy playing. Come on. We gotta eat, girl. You gotta eat. That shit's nasty, man. I don't know how they do it, dude. I don't know how they do cat food. Disgusting. She's sneezing like crazy. nasty ass cat food, man. I don't even want to put it on my knife. That's how nasty it is. I did though. Breakfast barbecue. Bear with me, I gotta feed my damn cat. I gave her him and Claw and her salmon yesterday. She really likes fucking chicken, man. She's obsessed with, she prefers chicken over everything else, I've noticed. Which is funny because yesterday I was at old man's next door, the 93-year-old, and I asked him for some milk. And he told me that Freddie, which is my cat's grandmother, that's what he calls her, will only eat chicken, won't eat anything else, only chicken. God, this shit stinks. This shit's from fucking Canada. Canada, bro, and you don't know what you're doing. When it comes to cat food, you suck. You suck really bad. Whatever this shit is, it's a product of Canada. The Canadians do not give a fuck about their cats. Distributed and sold exclusively by Aldi, Batavia, Illinois. Product of Canada, I'm telling you. This shit's disgusting, dude. It's the worst of the worst. I don't even like feeding it to my cat. I don't. But she went through that shit pretty fast. And I gotta go feed Claw. Claw's over here bugging me. He knows what time it is, that's why. Claw! Claw! Come here. Damn, you already ate all that dry food? See, I was hungry, dude. There wasn't a lot of food for my big ass. Come on. I know. Here. I got some turkey giblets for you, bub. There you go. Eat that up. He said, no. You don't want it. It's bad, I'm telling you. He wants the dry food, that's what it is. Just open this fucking. This shit's nasty, man. I can't. Blech. Oh. I'm telling you. It's terrible. You know what? That's what I think about that. The cats can have that. I'm not bringing that back in here now that I opened it. The flies always end up in here. Fucking disgusting. Just enough milk. We're good. It just started too. It's just another hour or two, couple hours, I wouldn't have any milk for coffee. Bottle of water. I'll go through all this bottle of water today. I'm serious. I'll go through all of this today. And it's bad. It's good, but that's bad on the boat if I don't have a water maker. I gotta make sure I have a water maker. I gotta make sure I have a tub. At least 400 gallons of water or something like that. There it is, right in front of me. So look at this. My favorite coffee, man. It doesn't get better than this. It just doesn't. This is the best coffee. You can smell it through the phone, I'm telling you. I try to do 2 scoops in the morning, man. I like strong coffee. The taste of it, everything gets me going. I haven't had nothing yet. No drugs, nothing. My head's groggy. I had a lemon last night. I drank a lemon. A lemonade. It was pretty good. These fucking Alex's lemonade stand fucking shit. They make good lemonades. They do. Alright, so just close this. There we go. She's on. She's fired up. Oh, that coffee maker too is my dad's too. So those are the only things that I would not let him leave with that safe. I don't have mine anymore, so all my stuff was gone. Almost all of it. My family took it. Stole it all. All my cologne. Listen, I had boxes of cologne, alright? Boxes of it. I'm serious. I had boxes of it. This is what they left me. Hold on. Where's my box? Listen, this is all they left me right here. This is what they left me. I mean, I had you see this box? Imagine this box full of cologne. That's how much cologne I had. They took it all. This is what they left me. They took all the good shit. That's what they left me. And then left me with no caps too. They took all the caps too. These are the only two that had caps. They took everything else. They took my Gio, they took fucking my Armani, all that stuff. They took fucking my Versace. It's hilarious. This stuff's good, this stuff's good. All this stuff good. This stuff is good. Olympus, this is like a suit kind of cologne. This reminds me of an old man. This is definitely one of my favorite. This is a Versace, which I'm surprised they didn't take it. It's probably because there was only a little left. See how there's barely any left? And there was actually a little bit more in there. I've been using it since I came home. Since I had it. But it wants to stick. This shit smells good. Get to work. Nope. Don't worry, it's empty. Do we have juice? This right here is Blue by Chanel. Blue de Chanel. This good stuff. 3 is more than enough. 2 is more than enough. But it wears off fast. I used to get picked on a lot too. Like every job I ever had, I'm always smelling good, you know. Like that's the first thing I do when I wake up is put cologne on. I couldn't tell you how many people like dog on me, like you smell like a French horn. All these guys, and you smell like a fucking engine, dude. Like, cool. So stupid, man, you know? Trust me, I can smell like an engine too. I'm about to go beast. I'm about to smell like one. What, girl? She's being nosy. She's being nosy. What are you doing, Dad? She's like, I want in on it. I want it. You want some weed? You want to smoke? Yeah, you want to smoke? Is that what it is? You want to get high? She said, yeah, I'm already dead. Smoke me out. I love her, man. See, she's still sneezing. I love her so much. She's the best cat in the world, I'm telling you. Yep. I'm happy I have this thing, man. It's perfect for this bog. It does what I need it to do. If it wasn't for fucking my boy giving me this weed, I'd be fucked. Well, I wouldn't be fucked. I would be irritated right now, and I would be on my back with no weed. Honestly, though, I probably would have already had all that shit ripped apart without no weed, because I would have been pissed, and then I would have done it knowing I had to need weed. Whatever you want to say. I feel slow. Holy fuck, did that hate get me? Yeah. We gotta take out the trash. It's Tuesday. Trash goes out tonight, tomorrow, some of that. You better do it before we forget. We always forget. I always forget. What you doing, Claw? It's funny. Ever since I put that branch up there, the cats love it. I watched one cat, right? It was a black cat from over here. It climbed up this, or just like Claw did, right? Right there. It hopped from here up to this branch, right? It walked up this branch. All right, it went up there, walked across that one, and then jumped onto his roof and was stuck up there for like half the day. Couldn't get down. I went to go grab the ladder. I grabbed the ladder. I started coming towards it with the ladder. I watched this motherfucker get so scared. It leaped from the roof back to that branch upside down and then hung upside down and climbed down the branch. It's like, what the fuck? It was upside down, had its paws wrapped around the branch and just like shimmied down the fucking branch. It was insane. Oh, that weed's got my nose all fucking runny and my eyes all watery. I'm surprised nobody's picked up these seats. They're mostly metal. You can take them to the scrapyard. There's Freddy. So that's my cat's grandma, which is fucked up. Freddy. Kiki. Its tail's all messed up, everything. Freddy. You see how bad it is? That's my cat's grandma. That's where my cat came from. And it's funny because my cat has a great personality, and so does that cat. It's just weary because of people. It goes next to Freddy. It goes next to Old Man, though. Old Man sits in this chair. You see this chair? You guys have seen it in his video. He sits in this chair, right? He's got a pistol right here. The cat sits right here 24/7. And that 93-year-old man has a pistol. It sits right here. It's a 22 handgun. It's not a 9mm, it's a 22. It sits right here. He's got a 22 handgun. Sits right by him at all times. Never leaves his side. He leaves it in his home. And he ain't got nothing. He got no fucking license, no carry. He ain't got no permit to carry anything. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to have that gun. It's good. He's gonna be gone soon, man. I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss that cat too, seeing Freddy. I'm thankful that Old Man takes care of the cats, you know? Even though most of them are gone now. Alright. We're gonna read, upload, and then I'll get to working on that motor. Because I gotta eat all that stuff, get woke up. Fucking blow my nose and piss real quick. And then we'll read. Alright, I'm better. Alright, I'm better. Damn, already 47 minutes. That's why I said I'm better start reading. I need to wake up. We need coffee. That's what we need. That's what I'm doing before anything. Which, I made that lemonade last night, but... I gotta have 2 things in the morning, and see how it's dark like that? It's how it's gotta be in the morning. I don't want it. It's gotta have, I gotta have the fucking, the actual fucking coffee beans coming out of the cup, everything. That's how bad I am. It's really bad. Might want to save the rest of it for another one. Gotta grab the coquina. Gotta have that. Which I'm gonna have to have that on the boat as well. Remember, I gotta basically hustle and grind, and half my money is going to be going towards coffee. Huh. Every time I go into port, I bet you any money, most of my money is going to be going towards coffee and sugar. Guarantee it. That's going to be half the paycheck, half the bill, I mean. Oh yeah. I always take that first sip without no sugar to gauge it, like to see how strong it's going to be. It's going to be a strong one. It's funny too, because some days, like, I'm so used to it. Like, some days I don't even, like, even when it's strong like that, I go to sleep after I drink it. It's bad. Some will say it's because it's too much, it's an overload. They're probably right. Not everyone's smart at everything that they do. I know how to make money, that's what I'm good at. Other than that, money, computer shit. Keep women happy, other than that, that's all I really know. Trust me, I know how to keep women happy, I'm good at that. It's not hard, all you gotta do is make a lot of money. You think I'm joking? It's not hard, man. Your boy, I try to tell people, man, they have no idea who I am, man. No idea what I was doing out there, man, at all. Who I was hanging out with, everything, man. I wasn't out there with no fucking faggot, fucking little ass kids. The fuck? Crazy to me, man. Kids don't own full-size trucks and 240s and, you know what I mean? Like, come on. I don't have time for people, man. Most of my life I've been by myself. I'm by myself again. That's why I'm doing these videos. I always see everybody always fucking whining and shit, and they're looking for happiness in people. And they should be looking for happiness in this. I want to rack her off so bad. She's nice. She's gonna do the deed. She's gonna do well on the sea. She is. It's just the right gun. It's the perfect gun for the sailboat, man. For the 27-foot boat. It's perfect. It doesn't get any better. Plus, it reminds me of Steven Seagal. It just, like, it reminds me of fucking Under Siege, man. It doesn't get better than Under Siege, Steven Seagal. It doesn't get any harder than that. That's gotta be the best movie production, love, romance series in the 90s that ever came out. when it comes to drugs and everything else, and me growing up, that lifestyle that I seen growing up, Steven Seagal was always the best, man. Steven Seagal definitely portrayed that life, that people always, that American lifestyle back in the 90s, you know, like the mafia type shit. That shit was so fucking cool. Favorite movies for sure. Marked for Death, definitely one of my top 10. Chapter 19, Anarchy and Chaos and Killing. Not just anarchy, chaos, and killing, it's anarchy and chaos and killing. They had to emphasize that. Says, watch this. God riding on a fast-moving cloud, moving in on Egypt. The god idols of Egypt shudder and shake. Egyptians paralyzed by panic. God says, I'll make Egyptian fight Egyptian. Brother fight brother, neighbor fight neighbor. City fight city, kingdom fight kingdom, anarchy and chaos and killing. I'll knock the wind out of the Egyptians. They won't know coming from going. They'll go to their god idol for answers. They'll conjure ghosts and hold seances and desperate for answers. But I'll turn to the Egyptians over. It says, I'll turn the Egyptians over to a tyrant that is most cruel. I'll put them under the rule of a mean, merciless king. Decree of the master god of the angel armies. It says, the river Nile will dry up. The riverbed baked dry on the sun. The canals will become stagnant and stink. Every stream touching the Nile dry up. River vegetation will rot away. The banks of the Nile baked clay. The riverbed hard and smooth. River grass is dried up and gone with the wind. Fishermen will complain that the fishing's been ruined. Textile workers will be out of work. All weavers and workers in linen and cotton and wool, dispirited, depressed in their forced idleness. Everyone who works for a living, jobless. The princess of Zoan are fools. The advisors of Pharaoh stupid. How could any of you dare tell Pharaoh, trust me, I'm wise. I know what's going on. Why? I'm descended from the old wisdom of Egypt. There's not a wise man or a woman left in the country. If there were, one of them would tell you what God of the angel armies has in mind for Egypt. As it is, the princes of Zoan are fools, and the princess of Memphis, dunces or dunces. The honored pillars of society have led Egypt into detours and dead ends. God has scrambled their brains. Egypt's becoming a falling down in his own vomit drunk. Egypt's hopeless, fast helping. It says, oh, Egypt's hopeless, fast helping a senile, doddering old fool. A senile, doddering fool. So he's basically saying, you know, you gotta remember too, when they're referring to Egypt, they're referring to the whole world. Because Egypt literally controlled the whole world. They had power of everything. You know, when they spoke of Egypt, they spoke of out of their land. Anything within their land, if they spoke out of it, they're talking about the world, period. They were using Egypt as a symbol, as because Egypt was one of the most ruthless, you know, countries when it came to slavery and putting people to work. The pharaohs were the worst when it come to that in Africa and the Middle East. They would send raids out and kidnap people and bring them back. You know what I mean? They would chloroform them just like they do now, you know, with fucking shit. You know, knock them out and drag them in. Rape their women, all that stuff. Pillage, kill their kids. They would go into a village. That's what they would do. They would go into a village, and then they would kill everyone, take the young, the women. Put the women to work. All the women became wives. All that stuff. So we're going to look up. I'm tired of not knowing what dunces are. I want to know what that is. What that means. Dunces. A, B, C, D, E. We're in E's. So you got to get one of these. Get yourself one of these. If you don't have it, you study and you go to school. You got to have one. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I have internet too, but I'm not always going to have internet on the boat, you know? And I like books. You don't always have power, man. When power goes out, that's why I have all these books. And God knocks this world out, guess what? The books will still be here until the world's gone. Alright, so dunces. D, E. It's going to be all the way at the end. Ditch, we're at ditches, drizzle, drowsy, drub. I don't know what a drub is. Should probably look that up. Alright, back to the E's. Alright, DU. DUL, DUP, DUM, we're close. Dune, Dung, Dungeries, Dungeon, Dunk, Duo, Dupe, Duplicate, Duplicity, Durability, Durable. I don't think they have it. Duty, Dwarf, Duty, Dwell, Dwindle, Die. Yeah, they don't have it. And so I have an encyclopedia. So we're going to turn on the computer. We got to get rolling anyways. The only thing I did this morning was turn that one on. And I logged into my Facebook, my YouTube, and my email because I have to. So if you don't have a Google Authenticator, which you should, make sure you use Google Authenticator. It's good to have it. It is. Always use it. But I logged in. Oh, we gotta wake up. Alright, that'll turn on. I'll go ahead and finish reading. We can learn up what Dune says is later. I'm gonna just Google it, just like everything else in life. It says, on that day, Egyptians will be like hysterical schoolgirls. The fuck? Sorry about that. And there goes my phone, all messing up. There we go. I'll just do this. Where's my coffee? I need to drink it. I was about to set my coffee right here. All I have to do is bump this, bump that, and it falls over. It's on top of this machine. I'd be pissed. I've just got that machine. Listen, this machine, when everybody uses the app that I roll out, this is going to be the machine that most of the work was done on. When I finish, I gotta get into the boat and start crunching. It says, on that day, Egyptians will be like historical schoolgirls, screaming at the first hint of action from God of the angel armies. Little Judah will strike terror and Egyptians. So Judah was another land, okay? Like Jerusalem, Judah was Jerusalem's little sister in a sense. They were kind of, at one time, they were really good allies. Judah was a good place to live. In the Middle East. Judah was a decent place. One of the best places to live because it was the land of gods. It says the word triggers fear of God of the angel army's plans against Egypt. On that day, more than one city in Egypt will learn to speak the language of faith and promise to follow God of the angel armies. One of these cities will be honored with the title City of the Sun. On that day, there will be a place of worship to God in the center of Egypt and a monument to God at its border. It will show how the God of angel armies has helped the Egyptians. When they cry out in prayer to God because of oppressors, he'll send them help, a savior who will keep them safe and take care of them. God will openly show himself to the Egyptians, and they'll get to know him on that day. They'll worship him seriously with sacrifices and burnt offerings. They'll make vows and keep them. God will wound Egypt, first hit and then heal. Egypt will come back to God, and God will listen to their prayers and heal them from head to toe. On that day, there will be a highway all the way from Egypt to Assyria. Assyrians will have free range in Egypt and Egyptians in Assyria. No longer rivals, they'll worship together, Egyptians and Assyrians. On that day, Israel will take its place alongside Egypt and Assyria, sharing the blessing from the center. God of the angel armies who blessed Israel will generously bless them all. Blessed be Egypt, my people. Blessed be Assyria, work of my hands. Blessed be Israel, my heritage. And then chapter 20. It's got 35 minutes. I thought it said a lot longer than that. I don't know what the fuck I was saying, so we're good. It says, expose the mockery and jeers. In the year, the field commander sent by King Sargon of Assyria came to Ashdod and fought and took it. God told Isaiah, son of Amos, Go take off your clothes and sandals. And Isaiah did it, going about naked and barefooted. It says, Then God said, Just as my servant Isaiah has walked around town naked and barefooted for 3 years as a warning sign to Egypt and Ethiopia. Isaiah walked around 3 years naked. Crazy. You got to remember that Isaiah was a prophet, and people looked to him. People came to him, right? So they're wondering, what the fuck? Why is this guy doing this? This is a prominent man, a man of intelligence. You know what I mean? He's not crazy. He's not psycho. He's not lost. Why is this man doing this? It's weird. It says, so the king of Assyria is going to come and take, it says it was a warning sign to Egypt and Ethiopia, so the king of Assyria is going to come and take the Egyptians as captives and the Ethiopians as exiles. He'll take young and old alike and march them out of there naked and barefooted, exposed to mockery and jeers, the bared buttocks of Egypt on parade. Everyone who has put hope in Ethiopia and expected help from Egypt will be thrown into confusion. Everyone lives along this coast will say, Look at them, naked and barefooted, shuffling off to exile. And we thought they were our best hope, that they'd rescue us from the king of Assyria. Now what's going to happen to us? How are we going to get out of this? He was speaking of what's to come, warning everybody. A lot of people didn't listen either. It says the betrayer betrayed. I gotta log in real quick. It's gonna bug me if I don't. First time as a charm. Chapter 21. It's my neighbor. A tempest drive says a message concerning the desert at the sea. As tempests drive through the Negev desert, coming out of the desert, that terror-filled place, a hard vision is given me. The betrayer betrayed, the plunderer plundered. Attack, Elam. Lay siege, Media. Persians attack. Attack Babylon. I put an end to all the moaning and groaning because of this news. I'm doubled up in pain, writhing in pain like a woman having a baby. Baffled by what I hear, undone by what I see. I could imagine he was probably belching, vomiting, all that stuff. Like, what the fuck? It's happened to me. God has given me visions and stuff like that. It's insane. You see with here, you don't see here. You see here. Everybody wants to see here. But this, they see what they only see. They don't know. They're not using their heart and their imagination to read. You can't understand what God is going to do or what God is not going to do if you don't read the Bible. You understand? That's why I've read the Quran, I've read the Bible, I've read all these different things. I have all of these different things. The most important one is the Bible, because it's the only one that speaks of everything, and it's the only one that has changed my life. It's the only one that tells you of all the carnage and everything else. Everything else wants to tell you of sweetness and and it's funny too, because that's all what people really want to talk about is God's goodness and stuff. This is why I'm doing this. I'm reading his wrath. You know what I mean? I wanted to read people. People don't read. They want to tell. They should be reading. Alright. So, he was thrown up. He was undone by what he's seen, man. Absolutely stunned, he said. Horror-stricken. I had hoped for a relaxed evening, but it has turned into a fucking nightmare. The banquet is spread, the guests reclining in luxurious ease, eating and drinking, having a good time, and then to arms, princess. This is then to arms, princess. The fight is on. Everybody was just marrying, having, sex, and, spending time with their family and making love, and the master said, on your feet, let's go. Says the master told me, go, post a lookout. Have him report whatever he spots. When he sees horses and wagons in battle formation, lines of donkeys and columns of camels, tell him to keep his ear to the ground. Know every whisper, every rumor. Just then the lookout shouted, I'm at my post, master, sticking to my post day after day, and all through the night. I watched them come, the horses and wagons in battle formation. I heard them call out the war news and headlines. Babylon fallen, fallen, and all its precious god idols smashed to pieces on the ground. Dear Israel, you've been through a lot. You've been through the mill. The good news I get from God of the angel armies, the God of Israel, I now pass on to you. A message concerning Edom. A voice calls to me from the Seir mountains in Edom. Night watchman, how long till daybreak? How long will this night last? The night watchman calls back, morning's coming. But for now, it's still night. If you ask me again, I'll give the same answer. A message concerning Arabia. It says, you'll have to camp out in the desert badlands, you caravans of Dedanites. Haul water to the thirsty, greet fugitives with bread, show your desert hospitality. You who live in Tema, the desert swarming with refugees escaping the horrors of war. The master told me, hang on within 1 year, I'll sign a contract on it. The arrogant brutality of Kedar, those hooligans of the desert will be over. Nothing much left of the Kedar toughs, the God of Israel. So, we'll keep on reading, man. You know, this is what I love doing. I'm got to pull that motor. It's ready to go. I just got to slide it back, all that wood, everything. Because after I upload this, right, I got to charge up everything. I'm going to set everything up, and then you guys are going to see me pull that motor down. I'm going to show, I'm not touching anything. You guys are going to watch me do all that by myself. I'm going to show you that you can move this, you can do this stuff yourself. You don't need any help if you use your head. Bill did bring me help, though. He brought me that cart. So, it's always good to have people, man. I'm telling you. Alright. It says, A Country of Cowards. Chapter 22, Isaiah. A message concerning the Valley of Vision. What's going on here anyway? All this partying and noise-making, shouting and cheering in the streets. The city noisy with celebrations. You have no brave soldiers to honor, no combat heroes to be proud of. Your leaders were all cowards, captured without even lifting a sword. A country of cowards captured, escaping the battle. Chat, that's what it says. It says, you looked out but never looked to him. That's the title. It says, in the midst of the shouting, I said, let me alone. Let me grieve by myself. Don't tell me it's going to be all right. Those people are doomed. It's not all right. For the master God of the angel armies is bringing it a day noisy with mobs of people, jostling and stampeding in the valley of vision, knocking down walls and hollering to the mountains, attack, attack. Old enemies Elam and Kir arrive armed to the teeth, weapons and chariots and cavalry. Your fine valleys are noisy with war, chariots and cavalry charging this way and that. God has left Judah exposed and defenseless. It says, you assessed your defenses that day, inspected your arsenal of weapons in the forest armory. You found the weak places in the city walls that needed repair. You secured the water supply at the lower pool. You took an inventory of the houses in Jerusalem and tore down some to get bricks to fortify the city wall. You built a large cistern to ensure plenty of water. You looked and looked and looked, but you never looked to him who gave you the city. Never once consulted the one who has long had plans for this city. The master God of the angel armies called out on that day, called for a day of repentant tears, called you to dress in somber clothes of mourning. But what do? You throw a party. Eating and drinking and dancing in the streets, you barbecue bulls and sheep and throw a huge feast, slabs of meat, kegs of beer. Seize the day, eat and drink, tomorrow we die. God of the angel armies whispered to me his verdict on his frivolity. You'll pay for this outrage until the day you die. The master God of the angel army says so. It's because they're worshiping, right? They're jostling, right? They're about to die tomorrow. They're about to go to war tomorrow, right? Knowing that they might die, right? And here they are, eating and drinking, dancing in the streets, right? Having a good time, right? Instead of being sorrowful, spending time with God. God is jealous. God is very jealous. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he be jealous? Fucking Lucifer was original rebellion. Why, if it wasn't for Lucifer, right, one of his creations, he wouldn't see all of this misery. God had to see misery because of one stubborn fucking spirit, because of one stubborn person, spirit, human soul, whatever you want to call Lucifer. You call him many things. He's a star. They called him the morning star. He says, we'll keep on reading. So chapter 23. My cat's on my table, which I gotta start training her. Mio. 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 That's how you do it. She doesn't need to be on the tables. She's got the door to play outside. She can be running outside. She's got, it's because she wants to play with me. And I'm not giving her attention. She gets enough attention, trust me. She's got to learn. All right, the key of the Davidic heritage. The master, God of the angel army, spoke. Come, go to the steward, Shebna, who is in charge of all the king affairs, and tell him what's going on here. We're an outsider here, and yet you act like you own the place? Make a big fancy tomb for yourself where everyone can see it, making sure everyone will think you're important. God is about to sack you, to throw you to the dogs. He'll grab you by the hair, swing you around dizzyingly, and then let you go, sailing through the air like a ball until you're out of sight. Where you'll land, nobody knows, and there you'll die, and all the stuff you've collected heaped on your grave. You've disgraced your master's house. You're fired, and good riddance, it says. On that day, I'll replace Shebna. I will call my servant Eliakim, son of Hilkiah. I'll dress him in your robe. I'll put your belt on him. I'll give him your authority. He'll be a father leader to Jerusalem and the government of Judah. I'll give him the key of the Davidic heritage. He'll have the run of the place. Open any door and keep it open. Lock any door and keep it locked. I'll pound him like a nail into a solid wall. He'll secure the Davidic tradition. Everything will hang on him, not only the fate of the Davidic descendants, but also the detailed daily operations of the house, including cups and cutlery. And then the day will come, says God of the angel armies, when that nail will come loose and fall out, break loose from that solid wall, and everything hanging on it will go with it. That's what will happen. God said so. Chapter 23. It was all numbers, dead numbers, profit and loss. I study numbers. It's my favorite thing. It is. I study algebra. Math is my favorite thing. I hate it too at the same time. You guys are not going to be seeing me some nights. I'm going to be working. Some nights I'm going to need it myself. Some nights you guys will see me doing all these formulas and all this crazy shit. Alright, it was all numbers, dead numbers, profit and loss. Whales, ships of Tarshish, your strong seaports all in ruins. When the ships returned from Cyprus, they saw the destruction. Hold your tongue, you who live on the seacoast, merchants of Sidon. Your people sailed the deep seas, buying and selling, making money on wheat from Shihor, grown along the Nile. Multinational broker in grains. Hang your head in shame, Sidon. The sea speaks up. The powerhouse of the ocean says, I've never had labor pains, never had a baby, never reared children to adulthood, never gave life, never worked with life. It was odd numbers, dead numbers, profit and loss. When Egypt gets the report on Tyre, what wailing, what wringing of hands. Next chapter. Nothing left here to be proud of. It says, visit Tarshish, you who live on the seacoast. Take a good long look and wail. Yes, cry buckets of tears. Is this the city you remember as energetic and alive, bustling with activity? This historic old city, expanding throughout the globe, buying and selling all over the world? And who is behind the collapse of Tyre? The Tyre that controlled the world markets. The Tyre's merchants were the business tycoons. Tyre's traders called all the shots. God of the angel armies ordered the crash to show the sordid backside of pride and puncture the inflated reputations. Sail for home, O ships of Tarshish. There are no docks left in this harbor. God reached out to the sea and sea traders, threw the sea kingdoms into turmoil. God ordered the destruction of the seacoast cities, the centers of commerce. God said, there's nothing left here to be proud of, bankrupt and bereft. Sidon, do you want to make a new start in Cyprus? Don't count on it. Nothing there will work out for you either. Look at what happened to Babylon. There's nothing left of it. Assyria turned it into a desert, into a refuge for wild dogs and stray cats. They brought in their big siege engines, tore down the buildings, and left nothing but rubble. Whale ships of Tarshish, your strong seaports, all in ruins. For the next 70 years, a king's lifetime, Tyre will be forgotten. At the end of the 70 years, Tyre will stage a comeback, but it will be the comeback of a worn-out whore, as in the song, Take a harp, circle the city, unremembered whore. Sing your old songs, your many old songs. Maybe someone will remember. At the end of the 70 years, God will look on in Tyre. It says God will look in on Tyre. She'll go back to her old whoring trade, selling herself to the highest bidder, doing anything with anyone, promiscuous with all the kingdoms of earth for a fee. But everything she gets, all the money she takes in, will be turned over to God. It would not be put in banks. Her profits would be put to the use of God aware, God-serving people, providing plenty of food and the best of clothing. Chapter 24. It says, the landscape will be a moonscape. It says, danger ahead. God's about to ravish the earth and leave it in ruins, rip everything out by the roots and send everyone scurrying. Priests and lay people alike, owners and workers alike, celebrities and nobodies alike, buyers and sellers alike, bankers and beggars alike, the haves and have-nots alike. The landscape will be a moonscape, totally wasted. And why? Because God says so. He's issued the orders. The earth turns gaunt and gray, the world silent and sad, sky and land lifeless, colorless. It says, earth polluted by its very own people. I have it all highlighted. This is why I'm sailing around the world, because it's true. Exactly what Isaiah is saying is happening. It says, earth is polluted by its very own people, who have broken its laws, disrupted its order, violated the sacred and eternal covenant. Therefore a curse, like a cancer, ravages the earth. Its people pay the price for their sacrilege. Of their sacrilege. They dwindle away, dying out one by one. No more wine, no more vineyards, no more songs or singers. The laughter of castanets is gone. The shouts of celebrants gone. The laughter of fiddles gone. No more parties with toasts of champagne. Serious drinkers gag on their drinks. The chaotic cities are unlivable. Anarchy reigns. Every house is boarded up, condemned. People riot in the streets for wine, but the good times are gone forever. No more joy for this old world. The city is dead and deserted, bulldozed into piles of rubble. That's the way it will be on this earth. It says, this is the fate of all nations, an olive tree shaken clean of its olives, a grapevine picked clean of its grapes. But there are some who will break into glad song. Out of the west they'll shout out of God's majesty. Yes, from the east God's glory will ascend. Every island of the sea will broadcast God's fame, the fame of the God of Israel. From the four winds and the seven seas we hear the singing. All praise to the righteous one, our Creator. But I said that's all well and good for somebody, but all I can see is doom, doom, and more doom. All of them at one another's throats. Yes, all of them at one another's throats. Terror and pits and booby traps are everywhere. Whoever you are, if you run from the terror, you'll fall right into the pit. If you climb out of the pit, you'll get caught right into the trap. Chaos pours out of the skies. The foundations of earth will crumble, crumbling. Earth is smashed to pieces. Earth is ripped to shreds. Earth is wobbling out of control as it staggers like a drunk in the middle of space. It says it'll sway like a shack in a high wind. Its piled up sins are too much for it. It will collapse and it won't get up again. It says that's when God will call on the carpet, rebel powers in the skies and rebel kings on earth. They'll be rounded up like prisoners in the jail, corralled and locked up in a jail, and then sentenced and put to hard labor. Shamefaced moon will cower. It says, humiliated red-faced sun will skulk, disgraced, because God of the angel armies will take over, ruling from Mount Zion and Jerusalem, splendid and glorious before all of his leaders. It says, chapter 25, God's hand rests on this mountain. God, you are my God. I celebrate you. I praise you. You've done your share of miracle wonders, well thought out plans, solid and sure. You've reduced the city to rubble, the strong city to a pile of stones. The enemy, big city, is a non-city, never to be a city again. Superpowers will see it and honor you. Brutal oppressors bow in worshipful reverence. They'll see that you take care of the poor, that you take care of poor people in trouble. Provide a warm, dry place in bad weather. Provide a cool place when it is hot. Brutal oppressors are like a winter blizzard, and vicious foreigners like high noon in the desert. But you shelter from the storm and shade from the sun. Shut the mouths of the big-mouthed bullies. But here on this mountain, God of the angel armies will throw a feast for all the people of the world, a feast of the finest foods, a feast with vintage wines, a feast of 7 courses, a feast lavish with gourmet desserts. And here on this mountain, God will banish the pall of doom hanging over all people, the shadow of doom darkening all the nations. Yes, he'll banish this death forever, and God will wipe the tears from every single face. He'll remove every single sign of disgrace from his people, whoever they are. Yes, God says it so. Also, at that time, people will say, look at what's happened. This is our God. We waited for him, and he showed up and saved us. This God, the one we waited for. Let's celebrate. Sing the joys of his salvation. God's hands rest on this mountain. As for the Moabites, they'll be treated like a refuse, wasted, shoveled into a cesspool. Thrash away as they will, like swimmers trying to stay afloat. They'll sink in the sewage. Their pride will pull them under. Their famous fortifications will crumble to nothing. Those mighty walls reduced to dust. And the reason why he's referring to Moabites is because they know where incest came from, how it started. They know the exact family that started it. They told you how the evil one started incest, which started all this degeneration of DNA, which was Lot and his daughters. His daughters got him drunk. They were out in the middle of the desert for a long period of time, right? The evil were in their head. They thought that they were the only people left on this earth. That's how stupid they were. And they got their dad drunk and fucked him. The older sister fucked Lot. Her dad got pregnant, right? He didn't even know. He got him that wasted. Got his dick hard while he was drunk. He didn't realize it was her. And then, what does he do? What does she do? She gets her younger sister to do it. She cons her younger sister into doing it. Her younger sister gets into incest. Does it? They both have children from their dad. That's how the tribe of Moabites started. Which is funny because there's Moabites in prison. They call themselves Moabites, which they follow the Islam tradition. Stupid to me. It says, stretch the borders of life. At that time, this song will be sung in the country of Judah, chapter 26. We all have a strong city, salvation city, built and fortified with salvation. Throw wide the gates, so good and true people can enter. People with their minds set on you. You keep completely whole. Steady on their feet, because they keep at it and don't quit. Depend on God and keep at it, because in the Lord God you have a sure thing. Those who lived high and mighty, he knocked off their high horse. He used a city built on the hill. It says, as for the marshes, all the exploited and outcast peoples build their lives on the reclaimed land. The path of right living people is level. The leveler evens the road for the right living. We're in no hurry, God. We're content to linger in the path side posted with your decisions. Who you are and what you've done are all we'll ever want. Through the night, my soul longs for you. Deep from within me, my spirit reaches out to you. When your decisions are on public display, everyone learns how to live right. If the wicked are shown grace, they don't seem to get it. In the land of right living, they persist in wrong living, blind to the splendor of God. You hold your hand up high, God, but they don't see it. Open their eyes to what you do, to see your zealous love for your people. Shame them. Light a fire under them. Get the attention of these enemies of yours. God, order a peaceful and whole life for us, because everything you've done for us, O God, our God. We've had our masters rule over us, but you're the only master we've ever known. The dead don't talk, ghosts don't walk, but you've said enough, that's all for you, and wiped them off of the books. But the living you make larger than life. The more life you give, the more glory you display, and stretch the borders to accommodate more living. Oh God, they begged you for help when they were in trouble, when your discipline was so heavy they could barely whisper a prayer, like a woman having a baby, writhing in distress, screaming her pain as the baby is being born. That's how we were because of you, oh God. We were pregnant full term. We writhed in labor but bore no baby. We gave birth to win. Nothing came of our labor. We produced nothing living. We couldn't save the world. But friends, your dead will live. Your corpses will get to their feet. All you dead and buried, wake up, sing. Your dew is morning dew, catching the first rays of sun. The earth bursting with life, giving birth to the dead. Come, my people, go home and shut yourselves in. Go into seclusion for a while until the punishing wrath is past, because God is sure to come from his place to punish the wrong of the people on earth. Earth itself point out the bloodstains. It will show where the murdered have been hidden away. God says all darkness will come to light. There is nothing that you can do about it. All confessions, everybody that has ever seen anything, they've lied, everything will eventually come to surface. Period. This is why I don't lie. I must speak the truth every time. I do my best every day to show everyone that I'm speaking the truth, that I'm showing everyone. And you have to do so. And I do it by glorifying God. And it brings me healing, because when I point everybody out in their bullshit and I show them that I do know what I'm doing. I've been doing this. You're fucking retarded. Stay the fuck away from me. I'll fucking cap your wig back. Just, people are stupid, man. Don't get away from them. Do whatever you can to get away from them. Don't put yourself in any position that gets you in trouble. You know who will tell on you and who won't. Some people you're gonna have to fight. The Bible clearly says it. The Bible, there's a ton of stories you're gonna be reading. The Bible, Jacob fought an angel and broke his hip, which we'll speak about that. He has a special name because they gave him a name for it because of it. Which, I'm going to upload this. It's a minute too, We're at chapter 27. That says, selected grain by grain. We'll read that tonight, today, maybe. Who knows? But, yeah, it says, I love these cards. We're going to do a number today, too. Let's see. Before I go, we got to study a number today for school. That's also why I study. Hopefully it's not a same number that I've been studying. I've been getting the same numbers a lot when I talk to God through the cards. I always ask God to give me a number. Which I always playing poker, man. I'm the poker man. I'm really good at poker. Shuffle 5 times, man. I'm telling you. You gotta shuffle 5 times. If you want it to be spread good, there's a reason why I do it 5 times. 5 is a special number, and 5 is my favorite number. That's also why it's on my backpack, hack5.org, my favorite computer group to follow, to learn stuff. I'm excited. I want to go to California and possibly do an episode with them one day. That'd be cool. Alright, we're gonna cut. I didn't cut. I was about to flip the card. I forgot we gotta cut. You always gotta cut. What is it? It's this behind here. I don't know what it's gonna be. 10. Which, 10's a good number. 10 is a really, very, very significant number, actually, which we'll go read. Which, it's probably gonna cut out. Alright, so go here. We already did 10 and 10, I think. The number 10 in the Bible is used 242 times. The designation 10th is used 79 times. 79 times. 10 is also viewed as a complete and perfect numeral, as is 3, 7, and 12. It is made up of 4, which represents the physical creation, and 6, which symbolizes man. As such, the meaning of 10 is one of testimony, law, responsibility, and the completeness of order. Says we find in Genesis 1 the phrase God said 10 times, which was a testimony of his creative power. God gave the 10 commandments to man. 10 therefore represents man's responsibility to keep the commandments. A tithe is a tenth of our earnings and is a testimony of our faith in the Lord. The Passover lamb was selected on day 10th of the first month. Exodus 12:3 was Jesus, the Lamb that takes away the sins of the world. John 12:28-29, 1 Corinthians 5:7. Day 10 of the 7th month is also the holy day known as the Day of Atonement. This unique day this unique day of fasting pictures the removal of Satan, the author of sin, before the millennial reign of Jesus begins. Boom. So Jesus, when he returns, he's supposed to reign for 1,000 years after he takes out. After